What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the RDA. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are doing well. It's your boy TripleM back with another video. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Arsenal. This is not going to be banter this time, so don't click off. It's going to be an honest assessment of what I believe is genuinely wrong with Arsenal Football Club. I obviously don't support Arsenal, so I wouldn't know the full depths and the full scope of some of their problems. But I think where we can start is looking at the performance yesterday against Burnley and kind of breaking down their start to the season. Okay, so they've lost 7 games, they've only won 4, and out of those 7 losses, 4 of them have come in a row now. And it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Losing 4 games in a row is relegation form. And I don't think Arsenal will actually get relegated. I think they're too big of a club to get relegated. I think for sure something would be done if they were genuinely in the bottom 3 by the beginning of January. Like, for sure they would pull the trigger. But what would I do if I was Arsenal manager? Or if I was an executive on the Arsenal board, right? What would I do? If I had the power to sack Mikel Arteta tomorrow, what would I do? Here's what I would do, and this is what I always say Manchester United would do. I would have a long-term vision and a long-term plan, and I would have a clear parameter of when that plan is, whenever we deviate from that plan, we need to sack someone or hold someone accountable. In this case, the manager. I would say to Mikel Arteta, you won the FA Cup, you came 8th, it was your first season, whatever. You cannot have that form again this season, and you need to go out and show me why we should back you long term. So I'm giving you until January to meet a set of requirements. Obviously, we are now almost in January. It's almost mid-December pretty much at the time of me recording this video. And he has lost 7 games since the start of the season. I would say to him, listen, mate, my hands are tied. My hands are tied. I'm giving you till January to get at least 9 points. It's not going to happen. They're not getting 9 points in the next 3 games. Because their next 3 games are Chelsea, Southampton, and I forgot who the third one was, but I think it might be Man City, if I'm not mistaken. They ain't beating Man City or Chelsea. It ain't happening, It might not be Man City, actually. I might be talking up my arse here, but I'm pretty sure Arsenal's next 4 games are tough. Really, really tough. Worse than their last few. And I would basically start talking to Pochettino. I would start talking to Nagelsmann. I would start talking to Allegri. I would start talking to any managers that you have on the shortlist and say, hey, do you want the Arsenal job? It's yours in January. We're sacking this clown. Because no matter what Mikel Arteta does between now and January, you stick with the long-term vision. You say, hey, well done. Thank you for your service. Thank you for winning an FA Cup for us. Thank you for being such a great player for us. We can sort of talk about getting you into another role at the club. But at the moment, this head managerial position for you, it ain't it, chief. It ain't it. And I would sack him. And that sounds harsh, but clubs do it all the time. They say they're backing a manager long term and then they sack him within the next 3 games. It happens all the time. That's what big clubs do. So I would genuinely do that if I was in the Arsenal board. And I think Mikel Arteta has to go, guys. There are problems at your club that are much, much bigger than Mikel Arteta. And I agree. Your board is terrible. A lot of people can go on about, they spent the most money in the transfer window in the last 5 seasons, more than Chelsea, most money in London. I hear people say the same shit about United. You guys spend so much money. What do you mean you don't back the manager? Yeah, you fucking prick. How about you actually look at where we're spending the money? How about you actually look at if the manager actually wanted those players? How about you look at if we actually overpaid for those players and we could have gotten somebody better for a lesser price and therefore increased the amount of space we had to play with the budget? How about you actually look at the profile of players and the pattern of players that have failed at my football club? And it's the same with Arsenal, fam. It's the same with Arsenal. Ozil. Okay, Sanchez was genuinely a really good player, but he didn't want to be there, fam. And as soon as that came public, you saw the effect it had on his performance. Look at players like Mkhitaryan. Look at players like Willian. Look at Aubameyang since you gave him that massive contract extension. Look at Nicola Pepe. Now, Nicola Pepe is not in the same category as those 5 players I just mentioned in terms of skill, talent, and pedigree, but he is a £72 million player, and you guys paid for him. It's almost a mirror to Manchester United. Arsenal is a poor man's United. It really is. Because your board are absolutely taking your fan for mugs, fam. They sign players that have nice names and that create buzz and hype. Oh, party, it's a party, it's a party. No, it's not a party, motherfucker, it's social distancing. You guys suck, and he's injured anyways. Thomas Partey is a CDM. He was never fixing your team, you know? So my point is, you can clearly see there's problems with Arsenal that are much, much bigger than the manager. I agree to a point. But when you're picking Willian, when you're slating players like Pepe, but then you don't carry that same energy when Xhaka does pretty much the exact same thing, because he got a red card, for those of you that don't know, against Burnley, and it was pretty bad. Like, he didn't actually hurt the guy, but his hands were wrapped around the guy's neck. You just don't do that, right? But he didn't say anything about that with Xhaka. He said it was a mistake. But when Pepe does it, all of a sudden, it's a disgrace. He let the team down. Doesn't help that Pepe's black, I'm just saying. And it doesn't help that, you know, Xhaka don't got the melanin, fam. It doesn't look good on Arteta. But anyways, we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. We're not going to play the race card. I just think that Mikel Arteta isn't consistent. And the only thing he does consistently is pick the wrong team. You cannot be picking Lacazette up front. I already spoke about Willian, but you cannot be picking Lacazette up front. Xhaka is a weird one. I think Xhaka should start for Arsenal, but not in a midfield 2. If you're going to play a midfield 2, then Xhaka is not the answer to your problems. If you're going to play a midfield 3 or midfield 4, in other words a 4-4-2, or even a 5 midfield, you know, like a 4-2-3-1, with a right attacking midfielder, a left attacking midfielder, and a cam, then you can play Xhaka in one of the pivot roles and have someone to hold his hand, because you know he thinks he's better than he actually is. But Xhaka in a midfield 2 is only compounding the issue that you have. Arsenal have a lot of midfielders. Arsenal also have a lot of attackers. Why not use your strength in depth and compensate for your weakness? Why not double down on your strengths? I say this about United all the time. Play a formation that is suited to the areas of the field where you have the most depth. Don't stifle your midfield and your attack to compensate for defense that's crap anyways. Whether you play Luiz, whether you play Gabriel, whether you play Tierney, whether you play Holding, whether you play freaking Kolasinac or Socrates when he was still there anyways and involved, whether you play anyone with Arsenal, you know you guys are conceding goals unless you put 10 men behind the ball. So why are you bothered about defense? It's like my high school teacher always used to say, don't waste your time studying geometry for finals if you know you're going to fail geometry. Just put 100% of your effort into trig and every other section like algebra so that you can actually get the marks. Because if you're in matric finals and you still don't understand algebra, my bruh, unless you got some other tutor, it's late for you, fam. And it's exactly the same with Arsenal. Wasting time trying to fix an issue that will not get fixed until you actually sign a whole new backline, wasted energy, fam. So that's my honest opinion on Arsenal. The team selection, much like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team selection, is what's going to get Mikel Arteta sacked. I don't think he's a PE teacher. I don't think he's a terrible manager. I think he's trying to play a playing style that compensates for a bad defense, but he doesn't actually know and have the experience to execute it at the highest level and coach a team that has never done it before. And so he's struggling as a byproduct of that, which is no surprise. And he knows deep down in his heart, if he plays the football that he actually wants to play, he will get pounded. But I would have so much more respect for Mikel Arteta if he actually played the 4-3-3 and you guys actually played fast, fluid attacking football. And yeah, you could lose 3-1, yeah, you could lose 4-1, yeah, you could lose 4-2, but it's better than losing 1-0 to Burnley. It's better. And I guarantee you guys would actually do better against teams like Burnley, against teams like Villa, against teams like Wolves, against all these mid-table teams that pretty much play the same or have the same philosophy when they go away to the Big Six. I guarantee you would. You know, like, come on, bro, come on. But hey, don't listen to me, because mine isn't gold. We didn't break Liverpool and City. Arsenal fans, man. But yeah, anyways, I hope you did enjoy that video. It was a bit of a rant. But your boy's back in full swing. Watch out for the daily uploads. They are back. And I am fully healed. But yeah, it's been your boy TripleM, and I hope you do enjoy the rest of your day/evening. And yeah, peace out.